See? That one works.
I know why. It was the ingestion settings. The event changed it. The stuff we was touching for OBS.
There we go. Hey, you guys found me? Can you hear me? I couldn't get the camera to go live on the other one. Then I was going to switch it to OBS and nothing worked. So I just gave up. I said, the hell with it. I'm done. So I'm glad you guys found me. So you can tell I got a real green screen behind me and lights and everything. Yeah, can you guys possibly go to the other room and tell them I don't even know how to switch back and forth? Hey, Spicy. Yeah, we got the green screen for videos. We got shades, curtains. Thank you, Marissa. And lots of lights, bright lights. You can have a wrench, Amberly. There you go. There's your wrench, Amber. Hey, it didn't work. Yeah, you got it, Amber. There you go. So, did everyone come over from the other room? I love you too, Amber. I know it's bright. I have like 3 lights coming at me. Hey, Carrie. Yo, it's cold in upstate New York. Cold, cold. Did everyone come over from the other room? Hey, Missy. So what I was saying before, guys, I literally asked over 100 guilters, no takers. They gave me the same old excuses. Ben said he would do it. I saw he was in the other room. There he did. There he is. Ben's like the only one. Hey, Heather. Thank you, Allie. Amber, I hope it turns out the way we want. I honestly and truly do. I know Ben said he was going to do it, and then he said he wasn't going to do it. Then he said he was going to do it. Then Marissa had an awesome idea, and that was worst case scenario is I play the guilter since I know their whole story, and debate it that way. So that's like worst case scenario, but I'm telling you, I asked everybody. Nobody would do it. They all gave the same excuse. And I'm glad Ben will do it, but I also don't want to feel like Ben's being like attacked if he's the only one. So if Allie and Ericos are doing it, then I figure I'll go on Ben's side and we'll do 2 and 2. So I figure that's fair if I can't get another one. Ben is one of a kind. I love you, Ben, for doing it because I'm telling you, I asked everybody. Can't really debate, but I can ask hard questions. I can ask a lot of hard questions. Okay, fair enough. So since there's a lot of you guys in here, if you're on Facebook, then you already know. If you're not on Facebook, Tuesday night, huge interview with John Ferrick. He's going to be on here. We're going to be talking about the book. He's agreed to do an hour interview where a half hour I'm going to be talking to him, interviewing him. And then the second half, you guys can ask all the questions you want. We have it set right now for 7 o'clock Central Time. I'll let you guys know later. I'm pretty sure I said 7 o'clock. And then earlier in Tuesday afternoon, I am interviewing Martin Handcuffs, which I am so excited about. If you don't know who he is, check out his story. Marissa will give you a link. He is Brendan, except he grew up in a very wealthy family. He had false confessed to murdering both his parents when he was 17 years old. I grew up with him. He came out in 2008, and he now is an attorney for the Innocence Project in New York. He also is a professor at Georgetown University for the Innocence, and I'm doing an interview with him that I'll premiere. Since I'm doing Ferrick on Tuesday night, I'm going to premiere him probably Thursday night. It's going to be really cool. I mean, he spent 17 years in max security prisons for a crime that we all know he didn't do. But it was pretty bad. Falcon, thank you. Thank you. See, Falcon and Ben. Who else? Ben said hard. No, Ben's been really, really cool about it. Is that Krat's current email? Yes, it is. So let me pop up. So just in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to promote it again. But Tuesday night is John Ferrick live. And then Thursday, I'm going to premiere my interview with Marty Tankliff and buy the John Ferrick's book before the interview. So you have really good questions for him. And thank you, Marissa. Yeah, Marty's like, his story is incredible. I mean, how many people spend 17 years falsely for a crime he didn't commit, came out and became an attorney, and you see his face all over the Innocence Project. It finally took that long for him to get free. What's up, Brady? Hey, I saw Brady in a room today. I'm out to, hey, Valerie, have fun shopping. I wish I was. Falcon, the one and only. Hey, I even asked Hens to do it. He had never contacted me. He never said he would or he wouldn't. Be careful, Shauna. Just remember, he'll sign a book for you if you buy him a drink. Hey, Paul. I know that I had some technical difficulties and it just never straightened out, so I just started a new chat so it would work. I hope Ken Katz does go to jail, honestly. Ben, let's get right into it. Ask away. So, Gilder one's first question. Anyone know a pro bono attorney in Michigan? Sorry, Ziggy. Ben and I were going back and forth the other day. I was trying to provide him the best answers I knew, but I'm no expert. I want to do a Google Hangout. I'm waiting for Allie and Irikos, but I know Allie's here. I don't know if Irikos is here yet. But I know Falcon would go on a Google Hangout, but Ben said he can't. Thanks, Tard. I just pulled into the wine store, but I'll be home in about 30 minutes or so. Okay. Erica said he wouldn't be here till 9. All right, so we'll talk about other stuff first. I'm totally cool with that. Pizza place gave us garlic knots, fried dough, and like 8 pieces of pizza for $7. Definitely not New York. Kathleen is coming with the win. I certainly hope so. 9 your time. Okay. They left fluff and nut butter on the bed. Why did Brendan lie about the bonfire when at the time it was a missing person investigation, the first interview? Okay. All right. I don't know how to say this other than they all lied. Everybody lied. But when you're a 16-year-old kid and your uncle just did 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, I tend to believe that most people are going to lie. If they're afraid that there's rumors circulating that you're the last person alive, it's human nature to lie about it. I would say, nope, never saw it, didn't know anything. I definitely do not hold that against him at all whatsoever. All right, Allie's going to answer. Allie will have a more like educated answer. I'm giving you my theory answer, my real world answer. Yeah, because of the difficulty, Allie, I'm not sure how to connect. I would have to shut down, and it's been a nightmare. But Irikos knows how to do it, so that's why I was waiting for him. Wasn't Brendan not even on school bus that day that he said he saw Therese taking photos? That means he was force-fed from day one. To a point. Not totally, though. Earl needs to learn to focus his camera. Yo, do I look like super bright? I literally have 3 lights shining on me. Hey, let's do it right. But I appreciate it's usually focused on a Scotland's flag behind him. Went out with the body. Do we even know she was dead? Here we go with the not dead. She's dead. But I want Allie to answer Ben's question. I don't want to stop that. I'm trying to figure out how I can get Allie. Thank you, Carrie. Thanks, Karen. It is bright because I literally have 3 lights on me. Boop. How's that? Better? Is that better? Oh, yes, I had never seen her. I was at a bonfire with Steven. Hold on, Ben. Allie's answering this. All right. The short answer is that no one remembered the fire. The police told him they had a fire because Randon said he saw one. And I was going to go there, but I wasn't 100% positive. And the reason why I say everyone lied, because I do remember that too, but Allie's right. The only reason they keep saying there was a fire is because the police said there was a fire. And I'm sorry, that Josh Randit said there was a fire. It wasn't because they were all lying. Somebody's lying about it. And my gut tells me it probably came from Scott and Bobby, but I've said that for 2 years, but I'm not going there yet. But I do believe that the reason why nobody saw a fire is because there may not have been one at that time, or Brendan and Steven didn't start that fire. There's so many lies going around both families. It's really hard to know exactly. T1, sorry, still on the fence. T1, you won't be on the fence because it wasn't actually a bonfire because that's an event. What Steven did that night or whenever was burning garbage. The bonfire was supposed to have been on Thursday. I have a question. I have a question. Has the police officer's cell phones ever been looked at? I doubt it. I wish someone would get close to Bobby and Scott, get them drunk, see if they would confess. I highly doubt they ever would. See, Scott also exaggerated the height of the bonfire. Scott's the one that said there was this huge bonfire going, which there wasn't. Some of the bones were confirmed to be hers, according to Zellner. At least someone told me that. I lie the most drunk. Don't we all, E-Man? But no one smelled the burning flesh. Karen, that was my thing too. And I said that originally, that if you have, that's one of the reasons I thought Josh was involved, because if you have such a big fire that it's so huge, well, guess what? Someone's going to smell it. The smell of a burning body and burning hair is pretty distinct and pretty disgusting. I don't see how Scott can be involved. And how did Bobby get his fresh blood? Alex, where have you been? Supposedly, I say supposedly, this is Zellner's theory. I can only say Zellner's theory. According to Zellner's theory, hold on, I have to text my daughter and tell her to get fluff and nut butter. Hold on 1 second. Come on. Say hi, everyone. Hey, hi, I'm being a jerk. Hey. Yeah, there was a big fire on November 1st, though. Yeah. There was a big fire on November 1st that did have a big smell. It wasn't on October 31st, though. Wasn't there a huge bonfire in the area on Halloween that night? Nobody totally knows for sure because everybody lies so much that it's hard to say who's telling the truth and who's lying. It was smelled by Mets north of Avery Salvage, and the smell was coming from the west, I believe. Kuss has a video. Now, let me explain something, though, too, that I recently heard, and I haven't looked totally into it, but from what I understand, the cops were already on Kuss Road. The cops know that the fire and everything happened on Kuss Road. I heard bits and pieces of this, and Allie, if you can confirm this would be great. But that's what I heard, that there was something about Kuss Road, that all the investigators were on Kuss Road. They weren't even anywhere near Avery Salvage Yard. I sound like I'm from Boston. Yard at the original. That's where the dogs were and everything. So how, if that's true, then how did they end up on Stephen Avery's property? Unless they were planting evidence. But if all the dogs and everything else led them to Kuss Road, and maybe that's why Zellner is stuck on Kuss Road, that's where everything was found, it just, something doesn't add up. Barb said that if Stephen was burning a lot of tires, she would have been pissed because it leaves black junk on her house and smells awful. Okay, doesn't smell worse than a dead body. Crazy Noodle said burial site. The cadaver ducks hit an area on the side of Kuss. That's what I'm talking about, Jeremy. I heard something recently that tied it all together about how they were framed, but I don't remember exactly what it was. It was like bits and pieces. Me too, Boston, you're my home. I do sound like, I don't know why I sound like I'm from Boston sometimes. My words got weird. Because it was strange that they had a fire and cleaned the garage floor that same day she was at their property. Ben, they killed deer. Well, Dassey did. But you're saying that they had a bonfire and that they cleaned the garage in the same day. But you're forgetting a big, big factor. This is all what the police said, not what they said. So, Carrie, you know what I'm talking about, right? Why the fuck is Kathleen's on the scientific evidence being taken seriously? I don't know, Zachary. I honestly don't. Yeah, one they lied about. But Ben, you're taking every single thing that I want to say guilters, that police or Kratz said, and you're saying that that's what happened. That's not what happened. Exactly, Carrie. Their garage was filthy. Everything in Steven's way was filthy. His house, his trailer, his vacation house, everything was disgusting. Allie, as soon as Irikos gets here, he can connect this. I don't know how to do it. Irikos figured out how to OBS and stream it, and I don't know how he did it. So I'm just waiting for that. Zachary, I agree with you. I honestly do. I completely agree with you. She's not a joke. Why did he star 67? Allie, you want to answer that? Why you star 67? Because again, that's Kratz's words with Kratz's bullshit papers. I don't care what anyone says. Stephen was contacting her for a reason. Maybe he didn't want her to know that he was coming back. I mean, there's 1,500 reasons why he used star 67 if Kratz's records are even correct, because he tainted records, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, but Ben, their phone records are not accurate. They're not subpoenaed phone records. I said this 2 years ago. You want to see subpoenaed phone records? Look at Scott Peterson's trial. Those are subpoenaed phone records. Kratz used bullshit phone records that you print off. That star 67 could have been anybody. I'm telling you, it's not. That's not a good valid. Stephen used star 67 whenever he made phone calls because people still treated him like he was a guilty man after he was exonerated. So it was a habit. See, Allie knows the details of it. I have other thoughts, but she knows all the actual details. Jeremy, I did the stream key. It didn't work. We tried it. For some reason, it just wasn't connecting. And then I shouldn't say that. It did connect, but we couldn't get you guys over there. Like it was like 3 minutes I'm sitting there and nothing happened. And that's when I said the hell with it. I don't have time for this. According to what I read, those are the only calls that use 67. Ben, where did you read it though? And a conference call for the courtroom on the phone records. Yeah, but Beans, that's not official records. When you just call and say, hey, right, that's not official phone records. I'm telling you, it's not. Affected computer, corrupted cops and state workers in that county. Did you hear the thing about Stephen having all his mail thrown out? No, I haven't, Paul. It's possible Steve did like Teresa and she wasn't interested and he knew. That's why he did star 67 and gave Barb's name. No, it was Barb's name because it was Barb's van. That's why I gave Barb's name. Whose green truck was at the quarry that night? Probably Scott's. He called family members of the probation officer for Jody. Yeah, we looked at phone records last night. They looked sketch. They were very sketch, Jason. Very. According to her phone contract, it said she could access her voicemail via landline. Anyone could access your voicemail via landline. Wouldn't it say phone records how many times he called her? No, because Kratz, if you look at the original phone records and then you look at what was presented in court, there are differences. Kratz used a bullshit thing. I'm telling you guys. It was Bobby who killed us. Got a crazy noodle. I'm right there with you. Hey, Saints fan. I was a police officer and was really suspicious to me. Was why anyone would want to get into TH's cell phone records when TH was just reported missing. Saints fan for the exact same reason why they had him in custody. And they had her card listed in custody on the same day she was missing, but yet they found the card 2 days later. It's the same thing because the whole thing is jacked. Raquel says, no, I'm not sure. Ben, would you allow your daughter around Stephen alone? Ben, you want to know something? I would trust my daughter around Stephen more than I would trust my daughter around Ken Kratz, and that's the God's honest truth. I mean, personally, I really wouldn't want her around any of them, but that's just because we grew up differently. But I would absolutely trust Stephen more than I would trust Ken Kratz. Are there any records on TH text? Not that I know of, Amber. Come on, really? Do you know anything that's real? We got a troll. Hi, Ethel. Leak got out of Kratz is a dog. Yes, he is. Ben, really what? Heather Grace, Stephen even looks more trustworthy than Kratz. I totally agree. Oh, that's Ben. Absolutely. Kratz is worse than Stephen by 100%. You commented on coming absolutely perfect, nail on the head. Absolutely, Lauren. What's a troll on new to this? Someone that's coming in here that's just starting trouble. Does someone know who reported the green truck? It's on the dispatch recording. Oh no, Carrie, you're not a troll. There's a lot of people that reported, Bob, but we would have no idea who they were. Ben, I know, I figured it out that it was the daughter question. I'm buffering? SA looks like the fun type of uncle. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Kratz is a total hypocrite. Laura, please keep your daughter away from Stephen A. Believe me, I would never hang out with any of them outside. Like really none of them. And my kids would never be around them. But if I had a choice of Ken Kratz or Stephen Avery, I think I'd feel more comfortable with Stephen Avery. I'll text all dirty to him. Jason, just refresh. All right, the day of recording, your theory. My theory bet on what? I have 1,000 theories. What happened with Earl in the case with his daughter when they only got 3 months? Yo, did you guys see that stuff on Earl that's going around now? It makes you wonder if Earl's guilty. But the original article said it was like 2012, but yet it was like updated today or something. I'm not totally sure. Anything new on the bones? DNA? No, Steve. The blood planning, that is all right. That is by far. I want to save the blood for when Ericos tells me how to get a panel going. That's what I want to save that for. So I'm just waiting for Ericos to get here, Allie, so he could show me how he used OBS and streamed it, and everyone was able to see it. Got an update on Earl. I don't know. There was like this big thing going on that Earl like put a camera in his house and watched all the girls go to the bathroom and stuff. And there was sexually charged with his daughter before. Then there was apparently another thing in 2011, 2012. Yeah, that he was filming indecently, and Candy, his wife, is the one that turned him in. Who all here believes SABD is guilty? It's hard to keep up with the players without a scorecard. But Amber, once Ericos gets here and he explains to me how he did it, we'll be golden. But I mean, I know how like he did it, but I don't know how he did it with the live chat and still connected to YouTube. That's what I'm having a hard time with. Why no charges on Barb? Why did it be on Barb? I don't know why they haven't charged Bobby yet. Probably, I mean, to be like on a guilter side, honestly, the reason why they haven't charged yet is because they really can't prove it's him. As much as they want to say it's him, they can't prove it. Our dispatcher kind of laughs when they ask if it's the other poor girl that died. Bobby, that would mean Carmen. Which is Stephen admitted to using star 67 or call Teresa Kratz forge the phone data. Watching people pee is creepy. I agree, Patrick. Like, why? Hey, Sherry. I think Bobby would charge this time for Christmas. I don't know. Computer is theirs. Possession of the computer is proof. No DNA evidence of anyone else, right? But Ben, there was no DNA evidence of Brendan either. So I would not use that as a debate fight because there literally was nothing of Brendan. There was no DNA of Brendan, period. Nothing whatsoever. Not a fingerprint, not blood, not nothing. You're saying, yeah, that bothers you, but Brendan is the whole reason Stephen was convicted. And regardless, people want to deny it. That is the whole reason he was convicted. Okay, so he said he will help you as soon as he's in front of his computer. That's what I figured. So that's why I said I'll kind of just like mull it over, just hang tight. Brendan's confession was the only thing tying him to the crime. It's exactly right. Hey, Kate. Hey, Millbilly. Is there a video of Scott Taddock's entire time on the stand? I remember you saying how smug he was. I've never seen the whole thing. He was more smug when he was in the audience when Brendan got convicted. He had a big smirk on his face. It's a classic shot. How does SA feel about BD? I don't really know. Yeah, beside blood evidence, I'm going to get to the blood evidence because that is the one thing that all guilters say. Why did Stephen want to run while up north? All right, T1, I want you to put your head in Stephen Avery's head, okay, for 5 minutes. You just got done doing 18 years in prison for a crime you did not commit. You lost everything in your life, your entire family, your kids, everything. You just got your freedom back. You're about to come into money. You're about to your life is starting to get over. You're starting to get respect that you never ever got before. Believe me, you're going to want to run too when you know that you are now being blamed for this crime, or you know that now they're going to peg this on you because they got it wrong the first time. I absolutely do not blame him for that at all. Scott Taddick is a very angry individual. Yeah, there's something with Bobby and Dietering. There absolutely is. Dietering was like so weird. Was that down to possible editing? What editing? And a DNA bullet. Ben, come on. Do you know how much evidence they had of Teresa to rub DNA on something? And a bullet they found like months and months later after Brendan's confession? The DNA, they had her damn vibrator. They had her hairbrush. They had her toothbrush. They had 1,000 places. They had a fucking pap smears. They had 1,000 things to get DNA from. That's like not even a good fight. Without Brennan, then what would be the case? What would the case turn out to be? I don't think they would have had enough to nail him. There just wasn't enough evidence. Of yes, Ben, of TH. They had a pap smear, they had a vibrator, they had a bunch of underwear. They had more DNA than you could ever imagine of TH. My fear is, and by the way, this is going to sound super, super, super gross, but I thought of something. You know how they said, like, the blood didn't come from her hair, but it was her blood? I mean, not to sound gross, girls, think about your monthly friend. What if they took some of that from when she was alive and smeared it places? I know it sounds absolutely gross, but maybe that's where they got such little blood from her that they can definitively say was hers. Just saying, throwing it out there. Just something I thought of. They needed Brendan's confession. Yeah, that is true. I've thought the same thing. People comment about the Hollaback not being emotional. They were definitely not emotional. Chapstick was likely on it. It was, yeah, but Bobby, it's already been proven that that waxy substance is something that is automatically done by whoever did the bullet. Like that waxy substance is normal. Using cave 10,000 years would be drawing you on the walls. What? 7+ panties. Yeah, 7+ panties. I know there's someone on Facebook with that name. I mean, on Twitter with that name, Bean, so you threw me off. What made them want to talk to BD? I think they talked to everybody who lived on the property in the beginning, and then to me, they just worked their easy targets. Kimber, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds really vile and gross, but who knows? Like, maybe that's where they got her blood from. Do you have records of the handcuff purchased by SA? Kevin, you mean the finger cuffs or the handcuffs that never left any marks anywhere, or the ones that Barb picked up? Which handcuffs do you want receipts for or records for? Because if he's going to tie her up, what's a pap smear? Oh, James. Pap smear is girls get Q-tips about yay big shoved up in them, and it's kind of like a DNA test, and they put the Q-tip up there and they pull it out to make sure that nothing's going on in there. That's what a pap smear is. What do you think of Brad Dassey? I've been enjoying his music. I have mixed feelings. I do want to question him a little. I would like to ask him why all this hate all of a sudden. Is this a publicity stunt? Like, what's going on? Or is there more to it? But I do see he hooked up with Chad Keller, and that was it. I was done. Never once talked to him after that because I have my issues with Chad being a lying idiot. So, but I would like to ask Brad a couple of questions, just like what's going on. Tina, I'm not sure what Brendan was referring to. I know Teresa took pics of Steven's blazer, but maybe for some reason it hadn't been put in AT yet. Not sure. Ben said there was 7 shot her 10 times. So, Brendan's confession was not real. I mean, whether he saw something or not, his whole confession was not real. If you kill someone 10 bullets, you're going to see 10 bullet shells. Not just one, just happened to be one. Do you think Jeff possibly did it? No, I don't. Brad has been going off lately. I know Paul has. That's what I'm saying. I'm curious why all of a sudden, but I don't know. Allie, I didn't know Steve had a blazer. Kate, he never drove the blazer. He owns a car lot. He had like 7 or 8 cars registered in his name. A blazer happened to be one of them. Erica says he's running errands. I can't watch a video right now. I know how to set up Hang It. I don't know how to link it to here. 22 does not have the force to go in and out a skull. I am here on my comments not posting. Joseph, I apologize. I rushed down. Period blood is different for sure. I know for a fact the blood sugar content varies widely in a typical finger prick. And please don't ask how I know that. Okay, I won't know. I won't ask. But it's still possible. Terrian says, do you think I already answered that? I'm saying you bought a pair when then Ho was TH cuffed with all 4 limbs. Kevin, she wasn't cuffed with all 4 limbs. That is Kratz's own fantasy. There wasn't even an etch in the bedpost. So what was she cuffed to? And the cuffs had DNA from SA. Yeah, that's another thing, Jody, Karen. The cuffs had no DNA of Teresa. All it had was her DNA. Was Teresa's DNA and not Teresa. Jody's DNA and Steven's DNA. Teresa was never in that trailer ever. Ziggy says, Patrick, I sort of have that same idea. The blood, I think, would throw a different result. Karen, it was Jody. Yep. Sorry, James. Sounds like he didn't use OBS, Laura. Just use Hangouts. But he had to have used OBS because he had to record it. He recorded it. So he had to. And you can see a picture of that blazer. All right, so you know what? Let me try something while you guys are here. Don't ask any more questions right now. Let me see if I can get this working. Whoop. All right, I thought I lost you guys. All right, hang on. Put you guys over there for a minute. Here we go. Whoop. All right. So I'm going to try something. I don't think it's going to work, but we're going to try it. One of them is going to cut out. All right, what if I turn off my camera? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. All right. So, Hangouts. Link, invites. No. Yeah, I can't figure this out while I'm doing this. So we're going to put that on hold again. All right. Shall I entertain you? Sure. Where are we? Blood is blood. There's no difference in blood cells that are excreted. Okay. How many OBGYN give women their cultures back? I always said that, she-devil. I don't understand why and where they got a pap smear from. And what, like, good was it? And you can see a picture of the blazer on MAM2. Dispatch says that's my neighbor. Yes, red and black. You can see it in a picture. Ben, there's some debate whether she was even shot. How many? No, the coroner said she was shot. The coroner did say she was shot. But I think it was like one shot. There definitely wasn't 10. Blood is blood. There's no difference to the blood cells. The cuffs were also plate cuffs. They had a freaking escape latch. Believe me, when you burn a body, that smell, you'll never forget it. I totally agree, Saints fan. I lived through 9/11. I completely agree. I will never forget that smell. No, Ben, I believe she was shot. The coroner said that she was shot. Is it true there was a DOJ agent that worked for Auto Trader around the time of... Yes, and I did a video on that, Diamond. There was I guess an undercover DOJ agent who worked for Auto Trader for 10 months prior to when Teresa went missing. Do I honestly believe there's some big conspiracy going on there where she had called in? I'm sorry, that she was there because they knew Teresa was going to go missing? No, I don't believe that at all whatsoever. But she was undercover for something and I guess kind of stepped in shit. But I absolutely searched high and low to see if I could find another one by all different spellings of the names, and I've yet to be able to do it. Conflicting experts as usual. Hey, who's a conflicting expert? But actually, I can't say yes, but if you watch MAM2, the theory is he hit her with a blunt object. The Jews reported the smell of sweet meat and not anything gross. I've watched so many of them now. Bobby, I lived through 9/11. The smell is something you never forget, ever. Burning hair is disgusting. Buffering here in West Virginia. I don't know why it's buffering. Who is Jax? You know what's the deal with her? I'm not getting into Jax. I don't deal with Jax. I haven't dealt with her in 2 years. I just launched it from my YouTube as a Google Hangout, and when I click broadcast, it auto records. Says it was Google Hangout auto record. Oh, you launched YouTube. Yeah, but how do I connect it to here? That's what I'm saying. I know I can get a link, but how do I do it without shutting this down? How do you catch a unique rabbit? I don't know. If they can get the skull fragments, there's an expert that says he can tell if she was shot or hit with something like a hammer. Unique up on it. Hi, I'm Missy's husband. Hi, Missy's husband. Do you think anyone in this mess would have a meltdown and confess? I don't know. I kind of feel like if they haven't yet, they're not going to. See, that's the whole thing. This all depends on what source you believe. No, it has to do with following your own evidence, really. Joseph who? I don't think he's here yet. Thank you, AA. Chiman Zelna's expert gave the blood spatter was too large to have been from a gunshot. Is it true that TH shot porn? No, it's not made up. James Ferrick had stated that. And by the way, for everyone that got here late, I am interviewing James Ferrick Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. He will be answering questions as well. Make sure you pick up the book before Tuesday. What up, Joe? But no, Kimber, she did shoot porn. She was, from what I understand from reading Ferrick's book, is that she she aspired to like shoot for Hustler and Playboy. She didn't want to do videos and stuff, but she aspired to do like Hustler and Playboy and that kind of stuff. There's big money in it. There were no bone fragments found on the bullet that allegedly killed her, or brain, but not just bone fragments. There was no brain matter on it. And the big thing was, how do you shoot somebody in the head and not have any kind of brain matter? It didn't make any sense. Who is Jax? Jax is, I don't know, I put her in the same category as Carla Chase. Greg, if you're on Facebook, you can learn who Jax is. I haven't messed with Jax in 2 years. Team on the State said FL was the one that went through her head. I had just never heard either way, Marissa. Kevin Gainey makes a lot of sense. Brendan said she was tied with a rope in his false confession. Bobby, you were there too, so you don't remember the smell? I will never forget it. I don't know where Joseph is. Could it have been from a creep she shot for? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. It's definitely possible. Killing or placing on WP, not just paying $36 million, but to land. Tim, honestly, until I read Ferrick's book, I'm still only on like 3,000. I also have to finish it by Tuesday, obviously. But from what I read in his book, stuff I didn't know about the cops, I am kind of like dumbfounded. I really go back to my original theory that I've been saying, that it wasn't so much the $36 million, really, as much as it was making sure that he absolutely, that he absolutely didn't look bad, and all those cops are totally corrupt, and it's absolutely sickening. Creepy Cats use *67 to hide his number from women that he is stalking. That's true. SAU *67 when he called TH so that she missed the call. She wouldn't feel obligated to call back. It can wait. That's possible. Everyone needs to read. Thank you. I don't know who did that, but thank you. Everyone needs to read Wrecking Crew. Lewis, he's going to be here live Tuesday night at 7 Central Time. Zellner expert and the state expert are conflicting whether or not Teresa Halbach was shot. That's true. Zellner is testing the evidence, aligning the timeline to the cell pings. But there's still, you have to remember too, there's a lot of evidence that Zellner does not have yet. They have not given her a lot of evidence yet. I worked for Amex and it was definitely the worst experience ever. Exactly. I've smelled a body burning. I worked at Harvard Medical School. Good for you, Patrick. Thank you, TC. Hi from Ireland. What's up, Ray from Ireland? Then took her outside and shot her with the garage door open. Ben, I want you to think about the logic in that. One, why would they need to shoot her in the head if they stabbed her, raped her, and everything else? Where was the blood if they shot her in the head? Why was there no blood on the grass? Why would this? It was not snowing yet. There was no blood on the walls. There was no blood on the garage door. If you shoot someone in the head, blood's going to go out. Watch the staircase. You know, blood flies, blood goes high. I mean, that's how they get people. So there's no way that there was nothing. There was no blood spatter anywhere on the walls, on the grass, nowhere. It's bullshit. Falcons, any evidence raised reasonable doubt for you? This is survivors. They have a different account, and I read somewhere that Brendan said her hair was cut off. Bobby, Brendan said that the hair was cut, that they cut her hair, but yet there's not one hair to be found anywhere in the trailer. I've been here for 20 minutes. I'm always available by phone. Falcon makes better sense than Tom Hens, but that isn't saying much. But Joseph, what are you? Thank you, Kevin. But Joseph, what are you trying? Like, what questions do you have? Because this was supposed to be a panel, and I can't figure it out, and I'm fighting with somebody to help me, and it's a long story. Dude, you're wrong about exit wounds. I'm not. Are you talking to me about, dude, exit wounds? I'm not talking about exit wounds. I'm just talking when you shoot somebody and there's blood. You shoot someone in the head, they have brain matter on them. There would not be any kind of blood. It's impossible. There was no blood in the garage. But there was no blood anywhere. There was not even brain matter on the bullet. Staircase on my TV now. There really is no proof what happened to her. There's proof that Brendan didn't do it. Get fluff and butter. I think he's with my daughter. They've not released the RAV to her, and she really wants to get her hands on the broken light. I agree. It's not impossible. What's not impossible, Falcon? What about Carbon calling the RAV4 and someone calling it's over here? Yeah, she said that back in 2016. There were rumors about that. I never really heard anything, but I'm old and my hearing sucks. But I never heard, like, I didn't really totally understand that. I never heard it, to be honest with you. I know Colburn called. I get all that. But that hearing something in the background, my ears aren't that good, and I'm not going to say something that I can't definitively hear. So I know, Paul, he did give Avery a mention. How far do you think we are from a new trial? Very, very, very far. And that has nothing to do with Zellner. It has nothing to do with Zellner's ability. I don't think that the powers that be are going to allow it. I think they're going to keep stopping it. He said the mugshot was traced, Joseph. Not really a question, but an assertion. Falcon, it was traced. That's been proven. Arrow with bullet tip makes similar deformation and can enter an exit where a 22 bullet won't. I know nothing about arrows. I still think Brennan was talked to about the story, but by whom and when? Possible. Hey, Ben, there would not be an exist with the 22. Fluff and Nut Butter just came in. You in here, if you listen, believe me, I did. But a lot of people hear things that I can't hear. 30 seconds of investigation and it was blown. The detectives feed everything to Brett. Not everything, but mostly everything. In your opinion, does Stephen ever get freed or will he die in prison? Dylan, I wish I could answer that. I really do. If he does stay in prison, I don't think it's because he's guilty. I honestly think it's just because it's going to be a nightmare for her to try and get him out, but I don't think it's based on guilt. She needs proof that is so undeniably solid that no matter what you do, you can't debate it. What if she is kneeling far away from the garage? She was nowhere near it. She would have blood. Remember, supposedly she was bleeding in the trailer and she was stabbed in the trailer. She was cut in the trailer. She was raped in the trailer. Her hair was cut in the trailer. Then they drug her out to the garage. You're going to tell me you're not going to find blood, hair, or anything else in there? Come on. Why would they clean out the trailer and why would they clean the garage and not the trailer? Just connect the dots. It doesn't make sense. BOD went bow hunting. I honestly don't know anything about that, Brian. I know nothing about archery other than my little one just made the archery team, but I know nothing about it. Falcon, why aren't you on camera debating? Mark, I can't get it working. I can't figure out how to link it. I mean, I could start a hangout session, but I only have one camera. So I don't know how to link it to get you guys here. Like, to get you guys over to it. Penny was in the room with the pencil the whole time. Bob McDonald, they're all on YouTube. Falcon, I don't think it was traced, but I do think he looked at the mugshot before he drew it. No, it was traced. I remember the police said it was traced. Or he admitted it was traced or something. I'm only new to your channel, but following this case from Netflix, and I've seen a few vids. You say all the Damien, you have not watched well, because I have never said all of the cops are corrupt. I said maybe one or two really knew that Stephen was innocent. The rest of them, like Colburn, knew Stephen was innocent, but wanted to save face instead. I say that all the cops are corrupt based on previous stuff. If you read John Farrick's book, it's pretty clear what's happened in the past, and all the cops that covered up his first 18 years in prison, yeah, a lot of them are corrupt, but I'm not saying that they're all corrupt. They all knew that this was one big setup. That I don't believe, and that I've never stated. But say that Bobby and Scott, and I've always said Bobby and Scott were guilty from day one. Like 2 years ago, I said it. Ever hear anything about the rumor will be out next year? No, he's not going to be out next year. I mean, it's wishful thinking, but she can't even get an evidentiary hearing, let alone, to say that he'll be out next year. The state will have killed him before they get released. Nah, I don't know about that, but they'll make sure he's old enough and never get anything. The sketch was a previous mugshot. What's the latest on Kratz? I don't have anything after what I posted yesterday. Kuss offered no leading suggestions to PB, nor did he have any mugshot photos or any other visual aids with him while completing the sketch. Falcon, are you serious? Let me remind you of something. Stephen Avery had been arrested for the cat incident. He had just had a fresh mugshot. I don't know where you get the impression that Kuss couldn't possibly have had a mugshot. He had a fresh mugshot, like fresh. So I don't know where you heard that, but that is completely wrong. Where'd it go? Defense should have checked mattress. They did check mattress. There was nothing for DNA. There was absolutely zero evidence of TH ever stepped foot in Stephen's trailer. You didn't read the whole thing, Purple. Ben, all I got was says who. You didn't read the first part. You didn't read the whole thing. I keep going back. What if she's kneeling far away from the garage? The bullet they found wasn't the bullet then. But Ben, if she was kneeling in front of the garage, remember, her hands, supposedly, her hands and her feet were all bonded. How's she kneeling in front of a garage? I mean, I guess she could be with her hands behind her, but remember, her stomach's already been cut. According to the story, her stomach's already been cut. She's already got a slashed throat. She already has a hair cut off. Where's she kneeling? Use a little common sense there. It doesn't add up. I have renewed faith that since their way a party switch in Wisconsin, they just maybe will make this case go faster. I hope so, Kate. I honestly do. But they fled to try to get. I did try. I literally tried, but I don't know how to connect the Google Hangouts to this room because I only have one camera. I'm not sure how to do it. So Ben, can you just restate it then? Because I've already gone all the way up. She needs a confession from the real killer. Penny Bernstein was apparently in the presence of Jean, the pencil Kuss, during the creation of this composite. Have you heard anything about the Skinner letter? Oh, you mean the Silky letter? Isn't that something you should have prepared for, Mark? I did. Believe me, I did. I couldn't even get OBS working. Like, I just gave up and started a new room. Because I was, told that don't worry about it. It's done. Everything will work. We tested it. Yeah, it didn't work. Do you feel Zellner's account of the way Bobby Dassey killed TH is what happened, or do you have a theory of your own? I actually had the theory. Well, all right, let me rephrase that. I knew Bobby and Scott did it for the last 2.5 years, but I'm not there, so I have no idea how they would have killed her. I have no idea where they would have killed her, but I just know that Stephen and Brendan didn't do it, and I truly, truly believe that Bobby did do it, and Scott helped cover it up. And I've had that same story for 2.5 years, but there's no possible way that I can come up with experts like Zellner did to say like exactly how it was done. I have no idea. And I wouldn't even try to say, yeah, I knew that. I have no idea how she died. She wasn't shot in the garage. I don't even know if she was shot completely at all. Do you feel Zana's they didn't ever say it was traced. Why would they ever admit that? I don't know. I remember seeing something about it. Or maybe I don't know. I remember seeing something about it. Kuss completely the sketch solely on the basis of a verbal description. Oh, as a matter of fact, Allie, I think that's what they were charged with or something, or that's what they talked about in the depot. I don't remember. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't remember. It's been years since I read it, but I don't know details like you do, but I know I've seen it somewhere. But there's no way I could study or remember every single aspect of this case because I don't. But Falcon may be right that he drew Steven based on the description, but they do kind of look alike. But Falcon, the thing was, if you look at the picture, it had to be in the depot. But if you look at the picture and you look at the sketch, it was like had to be traced. I mean, it was so identical that it was scary. Kate, it's okay. What does Steven mean when he says things like, you know what I mean? Do I need to say this on here on the calls? See, if you're talking about the call between Steven and Barb and Scott, the big blowout, Steven was baiting her. Steven wanted him to blow up. Steven, I wouldn't doubt that was Zellner's doing, telling him to bait, but they wanted Scott to get a temper. This is opinion. They wanted Scott to get a temper. They wanted to show Scott's evil side because he's so angry and he's such an asshole. So that was one way to get him to blow up. That's my honest opinion. Heading to hang out, too busy in here. Sorry, T1. A sketch looks like a previous mugshot. Trace actually comes in when people overlay the images, not LE saying so. What's the latest on Kratz? Didn't I go through that? I did. I went backwards. PB made me want a peanut butter sandwich. Falcon, but if he's an artist, all he had to do was look at the mugshot before he came into the room to do the sketch. I just missed something. Say Stephen did it, but not exactly how they say. So Ben, how do you think he did it then? And I totally agree with you, Rockin' Johnny, is that confession is only good if you can corroborate the evidence, and there was no evidence against Brendan at all. I missed something. I missed a lot. She never stabbed her in the bedroom. She was never stabbed or in the bedroom. We know that, Ben, but that's not how Stephen was convicted. Remember the sweaty blood, the sweaty everything? That's part of the reason Stephen was convicted. Wonder why more blood evidence wasn't planted on mattress, handcuffs, maybe a clue as to who did the planning. TC, maybe you're right. Maybe that's why Zellner's convinced that it wasn't the cops. That's a good point, though. And now Laura said it was tracing. Clear the mugshot was brought to the hospital to Kuss before he went to talk to PB. See, there's so many different answers. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that, yes, I'm telling you, I believe in his depot it was said that he traced it. Kratz is a sicko. Yes, he is. Never had someone explain the cat incident. See, Dylan, let me tell you, the part of the cat incident, Stephen doused the cat in oil. And before anyone jumps at me, let me explain it. Stephen supposedly doused the cat in oil and the family cat and threw it into the fire. Carla Chase, before I knew she was a big liar, said that Stephen didn't do it. He was covering up for a friend. That was also said to me when, she was trying to gain a lot of money from people. So I don't actually know what the real story is. To this day, of course, Stephen's innocent. Stephen didn't do it on purpose. Stephen was wasted, and he was, he would never do something like that. And this came from a friend. I mean, he was covering for a friend. That's the story on the cat, as far as I know. Did any police officer ever speak to Blaine? Yes, they did. 1985 case was not an innocent oopsie, but a deliberate frame job. Absolutely. Try dropping a Hangout link in the comments. I have seen other people do it that way. I can only do it, though, if I cut this stream. Like, if I cut my camera off here, is the only way I can do a Hangouts. That's where I'm having a problem with it. I don't know how to turn this off, not lose you guys, and be able to do a link. That's where I'm having a problem. Unless I might try it from my phone, maybe? I don't know if that'll work. But let's try it. The mugshot drawing was a joke. I agree. What are your thoughts on the Sicky letter? I don't have many thoughts on the Sicky letter. I never really did. I don't think it's some encrypted thing. I think in that part, I agree that Zellner might be 100% right. And I know I'm like so far behind you guys, and I am so sorry. Who were the cops dealing with TH's couple porn pic situation? Did LE think TH was disposable? I definitely don't think that they killed Teresa or anything. Max Lewis Neves. His wife is much younger and fairly pretty, and I wonder what she's doing with him. And Maz, after seeing the after seeing what he did, I was like, what he wrote to Tina, that is absolutely disgusting. Like, he probably said the same things to Leah. I lost all respect for her after that. I really did. With the bones even her bones, that's debatable. Peanut butter does sound good right now. Ben, you keep saying she was never stabbed in the stomach, but that's what they were convicted on. Stephen was convicted of killing her, stabbed in the stomach, and that was in Brendan's confession, that they stabbed her in the stomach and they slit her throat and they cut her hair. That's all in the confession. I see so many puppets in Manitowoc. I agree, Karen. LOL, it's Falcon's fault, but seriously. Ben, so you don't believe? Yeah, Ben, do you not believe Brendan's confession? No, Amber, it's not moot. The notion that the composite was traced has been used to establish a previous frame up. Have you had any contact with Zellner? Nah. You tripped me out, Small World. I coach football with Laura Riccardi, brother. They are nothing alike. Brendan's confession is false and coerced. Yeah, I'm saying parts were made up. Ben, if somebody lied to you once, would you believe them? I don't get how people can say, well, some of it's made up. Well, if some of it's made up, then it's caused reasonable doubt, and guess what? You have to throw it out. Okay, let's say she was shot. Her head isn't made of steel. It's going to come apart and leave fragments. That's what I'm saying, Patrick. I think Lieutenant Link had something to do with the death of TH, planted key, planted bullet, and I also think he planted blood. So that's why I'm a guilter. The whole tracing question, the answer is why. Seriously, Falcon, that's like the stupidest thing I ever heard. And you know what? The fact that Kratz said Well, the key doesn't matter, even if it was planted. Speaks volumes too. Cat was a character assassination attempt. A confession is on. Yeah, I got through that. I am saying Steven did it, but not exactly how. Yeah, I am like so far behind. Hey, Allie, I thought of something. What about if you start a hangout and post a link and then I can join it? I was thinking of that because that's easier. Because if you post a link, then we can all join it. Like, I just can't, or anybody, I just can't start it while I'm live. It won't work. Who knows why the Avery family were so hated in Manitowoc, but SA was innocent of that crime. DNA proved it. Mazzy's been emailing chicks as recently as yesterday. Yes, he has. Been asked what draws your opinion. Parts are made up. So you're cherry picking a confession? Absolutely. That to Ben. Who do you think wrote the Sicky letter? Don't know. Absolutely do not know. I'm not even sure it means anything. Girl, I could try. No idea how to do that. Purple's channel. Go to her comments on our channel. Allie. Marissa knows how. Yeah, or Marissa. If somebody has to. I just can't do it because I can't do both at the same time. What I'm saying is that she knows the last one. At least a third of people that abuse animals turn out to be serial killers. Yeah, but not one. You don't kill one animal and be a serial killer. Marissa is our tech guru. Yes, she is. Yeah, he didn't have a pet in the cemetery in his backyard. I agree. Christina says, Kratz, creepy, crawly, narcissistic perv who knowingly prosecuted 2 innocent men. Well, 1 man and 1 child. Absolutely. For sure, Stephen and Gregory Allen look very similar. Stephen did it, but it didn't happen like Brendan said. And Ben, how do you know that? Like, how do you know that it wasn't how Brendan said? Like, what evidence do you have? All right. So as soon as I see, all right, Marissa. So there's a link for Hangouts. But how do we bring this there? That's what I'm saying. Hangout link above, but doesn't that makes everybody live, doesn't it? Like every single person? That's what I'm not understanding. Bye, Paul. Thanks for coming. How many guilters showed up for the shingding anyway? You and Ben. And that's not true. T-Bone did too. But I didn't know, I couldn't get it right. So, hold on, guys, hold on 1 second. Marissa, how do I bring everyone in here to that hangout without bringing them live? It doesn't make sense. How do we watch the hangout without being there? That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how to link it. The culture in Wisconsin regarding cats is they are expendable. I've seen it firsthand. Interesting point, Leah. Also, a psychopath watches small animals in secret. That's very true. A junkyard cat has a job, get rats and snakes. Very true, Lisa. They could watch us when we were in the hangout that time. All right. Amber's got go to live streaming events, create a studio. I did all that. Quick link using Google Hangouts on air. Give you a lot. Yeah, but Google Hangouts on air doesn't exist anymore. That's an old from like 2013. Event for later. Use Hangouts to broadcast live. I can try it. Let me try it on my other screen. Whoop. YouTube watch. Event for later. Use Hangouts to broadcast live. All right, I'm going to click the link. So if I disappear, you guys know why. Leave saved. Changes you made may not be saved. So I can't click link. I can copy link. Because I haven't made any changes. All right. I actually do computers. I can't. For some reason, YouTube has me like fucked up. Site can't be reached. I got a site can't be reached. Yeah, it's not going to let me. I would leave here and not be able to come back if I click the link. All right. Events for later. Use Hangouts to broadcast live. I'm going to try this on my other screen so I don't lose you guys. Bear with me. YouTube. All right. Go live. Go live. And schedule for later. It doesn't give me an option to use Hangouts. Advanced chat. It doesn't even give me an option. It doesn't even give me the option. I'm on my other screen. It doesn't make any sense. Thanks, Kevin. Hey, Audra. May I ask a question? Absolutely, Joseph. I'm in with Marissa. Yeah, but Allie, are you seeing everybody? That's my point. Just pop over to mine, Laura. Yeah, but you're not bringing everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how are we connecting that to here, Marissa? That's what I'm having a hard time getting. Like, yeah, anybody can click the link, but I would cut this off. And then we wouldn't be able to connect everyone here. Because if you click the link, it's going to bring you into the Google Hangout, and you can only have 10 people. No, it's just like 4 people over there. That's what I'm saying. It's not connecting both. Thoughts on why they did all of this, Stephen and Brendan? Oh, that was your question, Joseph? You can you add me to the Hangouts? That's what I'm saying, James. I can't because there's nobody's chatting. Like, I don't know how to bring the chat over. I did too, Miss Deborah, and it didn't work either. And if they have 10 people over there, you can't do more than 10. I won't leave you, James. I'm trying to figure out how to connect it all. That doesn't mean Steven didn't do it another way. Was Teresa's phone tracked before? I skipped a question, though. Joseph, thoughts on why they did all this, Steven and Brendan? They didn't want to look bad. They did not want giving Steven the credibility to look bad. They didn't want him doing anything like that. They just didn't want it. Steven explained how the cat was set on fire. He never threw it in. He said he was tossing it over the fire. Well, they doused it in gasoline, though. Joseph, you have to read John Ferrick's book. It explains how fucked up Manitowoc Police Department is and how really, like, screwed up they are and how they will do anything not to look bad and they will do anything to make themselves look better. But if Ivan Scott did it. My question is where? I agree that Bobby's definitely involved, but where was an essay in his garage? I agree that Bobby's definitely involved, but where? I don't know, but I don't think they killed her in the garage. Absolutely, I don't. Brennan was being led to say what the police wanted him to say. I don't see how some people don't see how Brendan was coerced. I agree, Saints. But Saint, it's not that people don't believe he wasn't coerced. They think there's more to it. Like, and I kind of agree with that. He was definitely coerced in many, many, many ways. But how was he coerced? Was everything coerced, or did he actually see something or know something? Ethel, I've been waiting on Ericos all night already. He said that he was going to be home and then he had somewhere to go, and yeah, he might be here soon. I've been waiting for him because I know he knows how to do it. It's just not working for me. And he had it where everybody was there on the chat. He just had to give the link. You need to end this event, then you need to start a new event, launch it in Google Hangouts. Okay, but how is everybody? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, you need to end this event. All right, so are you guys cool with that? I'm going to end this one and start one in Google Hangouts. I'm in Ireland. I'm hanging on. All right, Erico suddenly got a flat tire. Don't ask me how I know this. Because I promised Allie, and I mean, it would be really cool. Set up the debate. Have Erico set up the debate on this channel if he shows up. Alyssa, Marissa. I know a lot of people didn't want me to just cut. So as long as Missy does. All right, let me go back. How many people have Hangouts? How do you do Google Hangouts? See, a lot of people don't have Google Hangouts, which I didn't think of either. Falcon stabbed Ericos' tire. I have Hangout. Okay, Lisa does. All right, so there's 138 people here. Who has Google Hangouts? But Angie, if a lot of people don't have Google Hangouts, they're not going to be able to see it, are they? Just click Marissa's link. I have it. I'll try it. No to Hangouts. TC, I have it. I have Hangouts, but don't have anyone added. Sean, I don't think you need to have anyone added. Have a Google means you have Google Hangouts. You have a lot of people you may have iPhones. You don't need Hangout. Oh, you don't need Hangouts to watch the event on YouTube. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to try this. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to get this working. I'm in Hangouts in here, getting audio for both. Okay. No to Hangouts. Lewis, but what everyone's saying is that you don't have to. Lauren, the live setup thing on your dashboard, you need to click on quick. All right. Listen to John Ferrick. Phoebe. In case you guys are late, John Ferrick will be here Tuesday at 7. If you click on the link to hang out, it's easy to get into the call. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. My wonderful admins who keep telling me they're going to do this right are going to set this up. So stay tuned. If I cannot get this working within 10 minutes, I'm just going to start another live session. You don't have to have Hangouts to watch us do the Hangout. Okay. You should go on to talk to us on Hangouts, but you can watch on YouTube. If this goes bust, I will be back in 10 minutes. If not, exactly, Falcon, keep the counting. So I'm going to try this. All right. So faithful admins, you guys have to get everyone the link and stuff because I don't have a fucking clue. All right. So we're going to try this. Do we have to have our cameras on? If you're in the live Hangouts, yes. If you're watching, no. So we have, hello, Lindsay. So we need to create a panel. I don't think we need Google Hangout to watch. You don't need Google Hangout to watch. All right. So we're going to give this a shot. If our audio was on, we're not in the first 10. As a matter of fact, Lisa, though, I remember when Eric hosted it, the speech was delayed so bad that I think it would be better if it was on picture, like, and not live like that, because everybody was like, it was horrible. Like, there was way too behind. Too much technical. Bye-bye. I know, right, John? It is very technical. I've got Punko on loud. And go. All right, I'm going to try this. Edge team.